throughout the exoskeleton or armour plating all over the scorpion. Welcome to the world of scorpions. Armed with knowledge like this, finding scorpions in the African bush should be easy. I'm just about to go scorpion hunting. It's the perfect time of night, the sun's just gone down and the scorpions are coming out to play. I've got a portable ultraviolet light with me, so they should stand out like jewels. Let's go and see what we can find. Now, scorpions are found in virtually every corner of the earth, and the bushes just around the cruise camp here in Kruger National Park, South Africa, are no exception. Scorpions are experts of survival, highly adaptable, and are often found far closer to homes than you might think. Ah, look at this one. Like I said, right in the middle of our camp. Gorgeous little specimen. This is Epistocanthus asper, a tree-dwelling scorpion. Lives down in the nooks and crannies of trees like this. So what these guys do is they hide out in these cracks and they wait for the insects to come by, land beside them, and they feel the vibrations of their wings just tapping on the bark. And they shoot out, grab them, draw them back down into the holes and munch them up. Now what's great about this species is the males will actually come out and with their pedipalps they'll tap on top of the tree bark and call the females. Brilliant. I'm going to have to give that a go. Absolutely marvellous. And just look at the way these guys shine. It's incredible. They're fluorescing beautifully in this light. People think that every scorpion sting contains a lethal venom. But actually only 25 of the 1,500 scorpion species are dangerous to man. And this isn't one of them. These scorpions are specialist tree dwellers, only interested in insects and each other. But many scorpions hide out in crevices and under rocks, so if I want to find them, that's where I better start looking. This is a perfect environment to find all sorts of things down in here. Loads of invertebrates would love to be in there. It's nice and cool down inside the rock. The rock itself is boiling, but right down there inside, it's bound to be something. Let's see what we can find. Here we go. Yes. Oh. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Really lethargic at the moment. This is Hodogenes troglodytes, one of the scorpions found throughout this region. And it's just livened up now. It's got in the sun and warmed up. The sting of this scorpion would be no worse than a bee sting, but just look at the size of the pedipalps or pincers. They'd certainly give you a nasty nip. Actually, the general rule with scorpions is the larger the pincers, the less powerful the sting. As you can see here, her sting is pretty small, especially when you consider that these rock scorpions are the longest species of scorpion in the world, up to 21 centimetres in length. Absolutely wonderful. This is a female. And I can tell it's a female because of the fact its tail is quite small, and the males, the tail is about 2 to 2.5 times the size of their body length. The males use these long tails to sting the female during courtship. This doesn't kill her, actually calms her down. Scorpion reproduction is amazing. Gestation can last an incredible 18 months. That can be over half the adult lifetime of a female. She'll give birth to around 25 babies, which remain light in colour until they molt for the first time and get their first hard exoskeleton. The birthing process can last up to 240 hours. That's 10 whole days. Once the young are born, the mother exhibits an amazing degree of parental care, unparalleled in the arthropod world, keeping them on her back for up to 2 weeks. This is perfect environment for these guys. Down inside the rocks, right in there where it's nice and cool, absolutely perfect. And you can see how thin it is and slender, every part of it really, really thin. It's got these lovely thin legs, you see those? Really, really flat tail, really flat body. Everything really slender so it can get right down inside the rock. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that lovely, pretty face. She's smiling as well. Oh, I just popped this little fella back. Whee, she wants to go. She wants to go and see the cameraman. Let's let her go. Scorpions are nocturnal, which is why this one's trying to get away, back into the shade. She'll find her way. Here she goes. She'll come. It's also one of the reasons that in the middle of the day, you'll commonly find scorpions under rocks. So I'm going to have a look around, see what else I can find out here. Now here we go. There's some rocks down here which are absolutely perfect. And you always have to be really careful. In this sort of environment, you can find anything underneath a rock. It could be poisonous. And the last thing you want to do is get bitten or stung. Oh, wow. Look at this guy here. Now, this is an amblypygid. It's a member of the arachnid family. And as you can see, get him. He's very quick, so I've got to try and grab him. There. Stunning. What a great brooch. Now, he looks like he's got 6 legs, but he's actually got 8. These appendages at the front are his front legs. They're modified into sensory organs. And you can see they're a bit like whips. These are actually known as whip scorpions or whip spiders. These are just common names. Actually, they're neither a scorpion or a spider, but a separate group, amblypygids. Amblypygids are part of the arthropod phylum, just like scorpions, spiders, insects and crustaceans. I'll just grab him back so I don't want to lose him down my trousers. Wow. He looks like he's off another planet. Absolutely amazing. At the front here you can see these incredible clasps. They're like raptor palps, which they use for catching their prey. These clasps are similar to a true scorpion's pedipalps, and one of the reasons they're sometimes confused. I think we'll pop him back now. It's pretty hot out here. Let's put him back under a rock. Whip scorpions not only look like, but they also have similar lifestyles to ground-dwelling scorpions. They're both well adapted to life under rocks, and they're often found playing an integral role in the food chains that occur there. Rocks are the perfect habitat for several species of scorpion. They protect them from the sun and predators, whilst providing a perfect place to ambush passing prey. Under every rock, you can find a little story, a whole little system working under here. We've got a scorpion, a centipede, a couple of spiders, and loads of prey remains. Got wing cases from beetles, millipede rings, all sorts in there. Amazingly, the average scorpion spends over 90% of its time inactive. This means that some species can go without food for over a year. So we've been quite lucky in finding this event here, as judging by the damage to this centipede's head, the scorpion was probably in the process of killing it when I arrived. But incredibly, if the scorpion was any smaller, the roles could have been reversed, as centipedes are venomous and voracious predators. It's a bug-eat-bug world out there. Although we've seen that rocks are a popular habitat for scorpions, there are others that prefer life underground. This is Cheloctonus jonesii, a small ground-dwelling scorpion found in southern Africa. It's a wonderful, wonderful small scorpion with a lovely black body there with yellow legs and these lovely pedipalps at the front here that he's got up in a defensive position. Now they build a burrow down into the ground about 35 centimetres deep, and inside there they build a small chamber at the bottom where they can turn around, lock their pedipalps together and stop the predators from coming down and getting at them. Absolutely incredible. Now we've actually got one of the burrows down here, and you can see where he lives. It's very, very easy to miss. You could be stepping on these all around the place and you'd never know that these little guys are down there. And if we come over here, you can actually see some of its prey. These are the remains of a small millipede that's actually been eaten by him. He's got small hairs called setae all over his pedipalps and the rest of his body that he uses to pick up vibrations of the prey passing his burrow. Once they felt the vibrations, they'd be out, grab hold of the prey, and as you can see, not much left of it. A common myth with scorpions is that they'll commit suicide by stinging themselves to death if you surround them with a ring of fire. Of course, this is untrue, as scorpions are actually immune to their own venom. What happens is the scorpion lashes out wildly in defence and may indeed sting itself. But death is caused by overheating, not the venom of the sting. Now, he's not very venomous at all, which is why I'm able to handle him like this. Now, you can tell that because of the size of his pedipalps, or pincers. With this guy, he's got quite big pedipalps compared to the size of his body, and quite a small tail there. The scorpions with the smaller pedipalps and the large tails, they're the ones you've got to look out for. We'll pop him back so he can go home. Now, this is one of the few truly dangerous scorpions in the world. He's Hottentotta trilineatus, one of the fat-tailed scorpions. And unlike those we've met so far, you can tell by his large tail and small pedipalps that he's dangerous. Scorpions have neurotoxic venom, and drop for drop they're some of the most powerful venoms known to man. But even the dangerous ones will only sting you in defence, or if they're trapped in a corner. Scorpions may be the arthropods with the sting in their tail, but after the break we'll meet some of the biggest arthropods in the world. These are the armoured giants, and like the scorpions with their pedipalps, these creatures have claws to be reckoned with. Oh. We're about to meet some of the largest arthropods in the world with some truly impressive claws. We'll also go hunting for some of the smaller characters. Ow! But first, we'll discover the reasons behind a crustacean's success. Crabs and lobsters, like spiders and insects, are part of the arthropod phylum. Arthropods all originally lived in the oceans, but whereas some, like the scorpions and insects, evolved into land animals, the crustaceans stayed. And so I've come down to the aquarium to take a closer look at these aquatic arthropods and discover some of the amazing facts about the way they live. Like the scorpions on land, crustaceans can be found in almost every part of the aquatic environment. Some are so tiny they actually live between grains of sand, but they also include some of the largest arthropods in the world. When I'm diving, I need weights to get to the bottom, as the water supports me and makes me float. The same principle means that marine arthropods can grow a lot larger than their land-living cousins. The weight of their heavy exoskeleton is supported by the salt water. Behind the scenes here at London Aquarium, right down in the basement, is where we'll meet some of their giant arthropods. And they're more familiar than you might think. It's a common lobster, a wonderful specimen of a marine arthropod. You can see it's got this wonderful hard exoskeleton all over its body and jointed legs, just like the rest of the arthropods. So it's fabulous, great pincers just on my arm there, which I'm supporting because they're so heavy. While these guys are out of water, they're too heavy to support themselves. One of the amazing things about common lobsters is the fact that they can actually taste with the base of their feet as they're wandering along the ocean floor. Now, the male lobsters can urinate in the faces of other males as they're finding the dominancy over an area. And when they meet again, when they taste the urine, they know they're not going to win and they back off. So next time you think about lobsters, don't just think about dinner. Meet the crawfish. It's another marine arthropod, similar to the lobster, but without the pincers at the front. Instead, it has these spikes on its front appendages for scraping around on the ocean floor. Crawfish are also known as spiny lobsters. They have these spines all over their carapace to help protect them from predators. They are also said to use their long, rough antennae like whips to defend themselves. Crawfish have a pair of appendages or legs attached to each segment of their body, but the front two pairs are modified into these long antennae, whilst the next few have been adapted into mouthparts. They then have 10 walking legs before you reach the fan-like tail at the rear. But the most familiar arthropod found in the ocean is probably the crab. Spider crab. This one's found off the coast of England, and to see he's closing in on my fingers there. A lovely looking thing. With spines on his carapace at the back there. Now, this hard exoskeleton may protect crustaceans from predators, but if they want to grow any larger, then they must shed it. And while the new shell is hardening, they're left with a soft, vulnerable body. This may put them at risk, but it's something that every crustacean has to do, and it has enabled some of them to grow into giants. Perhaps the largest known arthropod on Earth today is the Japanese spider crab. Living in the deep waters of the Pacific, the leg span of this giant can measure up to 4 meters. That's 13 feet from tip to tip. They are the scavengers of the deep, feeding on dead plants and animals that fall to the ocean floor. But the small crabs can be just as fascinating, and the South African beaches are home to a whole variety. This tiny little creature is a baby ghost crab. Now, most ghost crabs bury themselves in the sand during the day in burrows up to 1 metre deep. So if I really want to see any activity, I'd better return at night when they're out foraging. Now, finding them at night is easy enough. But catching them is something entirely different. These guys are known for their speed. Woo! Ow! Oh no! Hey! Yeah. Whew. Boy, they can run fast. Look at that. You can just make out his jointed legs and his hard exoskeleton that define him as an arthropod. And he sure does give a nasty pinch. Although these are quite small, they still hurt. Now, he's called a ghost crab because of his white colour. There's lots of them around here. Ow! And you can see, ouch, he knows how to draw blood. Woo! We'll find another. It's a mole crab. Now, this little guy buries himself down just on the water's edge, sticks his little antennae out, waits for the water to come in, and then filter feeds as it's drawing out. He's got these mole-like appendages on the front for burrowing down into the ground. Mad-looking creatures. You can see this is a female because she's got this lovely orange cluster of eggs just underneath her tail, just down here. You can actually tell the age of mole crab eggs by their colour. The orange is yolk, and as the developing embryos use it up, they turn a translucent pale grey. A large female may hold up to 50,000 eggs under her tail. And amazingly, the mole crab tail contains sensory neurons with the largest diameter yet described in any animal. These are involved in digging. Watch this. It's another ghost crab.
Look at the size of him. Look at that fella. Oh, I say fella, this is a female. She's absolutely full of eggs. And you can see the blacky grey area just at the bottom of the carapace there where her tail is.
There could be hundreds of thousands of eggs under there, and just like the mole crab, you can age them by their colour. These will soon hatch, emerging as tiny free-swimming larvae that look nothing like their parents. There are so many eggs as only a tiny percentage will make it to adulthood.
Now she could give me a really nasty nip, far worse than the last little fella, because her pincers are about 3 times the size. You can see she's put her eye stalks just down and she's protecting them so I can't peck them off.
Crabs can breathe out of water as long as their gills are wet. And I've had this one out for a while, so I'd better put her back down so she can return to the sea. In the world of stings and claws, you can find some incredible arthropods with intriguing secrets, be they scorpions, crustaceans or insects. Scorpions are feared for their venom, but they're actually rarely dangerous and even caring parents. And when it comes to size, few compare to the clawed giants of the ocean floor, the armoured crustaceans and the ghosts of the night. So take a different look.
Are you going to tread more carefully from now on?